Shay, and I'm back with another video showing you guys how I make my closure units. So I use the Prime or Prism Lights bleaching powder and 30 volume developer to make a thick paste consistency, but I kind of want it just a tad bit soupy or drippy, just so that it can bleed through to get to the root part of the knots, not the actual root of the hair. So you want to spread it all over like butter and you want to make sure that you get the bleach all over each knot that you see from the front to the back. So this is how the closure looks once I'm ready to rinse the bleach out and wash the closure. So I'm using 3 bundles from a company called Nazaya K Beauty on Instagram. These are the lengths 30 and 226, so that's a total of 3 bundles, and I'm using an 18-inch closure. I use the mesh dome cap, and you want to make sure that when you purchase the mesh dome cap that you're not purchasing the large one, unless your client does have a large head or yourself. So the 2 lines that go straight back, you want to make sure the wider ones are in the front and the ones that come close together are in the back, and I'll show you in a second. Right there. The bundles and the closure is fully washed and ready to go. So I put the closure a couple of centimeters above the cap just so that it looks a little more natural and has more versatility. And this is how you want it to look. Now the toughest part for me, I could say, is not putting the needle through the elastic band. So you want to be careful, like extremely careful when making a unit, because the elastic band is what helps it stretch for the person's head, and you don't want to minimize that mobility. So only sew through the mesh, not the elastic band, only the mesh. So when you're done sewing down each side, you want to cut your thread and tie it twice, just to give it some extra security. So I thread my needles pretty long, don't judge me. But getting started with the bundles, you want to put your needle through the weft first. And after that, you want to go through the mesh and not the elastic band. And what I do is I do the bunny loop 3 times and I pull it through, and that creates a knot to secure the bundle and the weft onto the cap. So my second stitch is like my security blanket. It's still the bunny loop, but I do it just twice instead of 3 times. And then after that, I basically pull it through, and that creates another knot, but it makes the weft flatter. And then after that, I just do the regular loop and pull method, which is going under or above the weft and pulling it through only once. I do cut my wefts for a more flatter and seamless look. And once I cut them, I tie a knot just like I did to begin a weft. I do the same thing to end one. So bunny loop 3 times and pull through to make a knot. The second piece of the bundle, I usually move it up probably a little bit past the elastic band, just to give it a little more mobility in the back, and because you don't want too much hair in the back of your neck. So another trick I have for my second stitch is the crisscross method. So I just basically take one piece of the thread and cross it over the needle and pull it through, which makes another knot. So you don't want to sew on that part of the cap because it helps stretch out the cap from the front to the back of your head. So as I get closer to the closure, I basically curve my wefts so that the hair will fall forward to the face. So this is my crisscross method. I just take one piece of the thread and the other and just cross them over the needle, and that'll make a knot to make the weft flatter and a little more secure. For my last bundle, I just go straight across until I reach the closure.
Now it's plucking time.
Now everybody knows DAYARNALVSHA needs everything to be perfect, so this part has to be extremely straight. So I usually just go in with my rat tail comb and make sure that the part is straight, literally with each knot in a row. And I use my hot comb to straighten the hairs out so they won't get in the way while I'm plucking the front of the closure. So if you guys have not watched my previous video, stop what you're doing and go look at that now, because it will show and explain how I pluck my frontals, and the same technique is used for closures as well. So the way that I remember to not pluck in the same spot is by counting to 3. So 1, 2, 3, move. and I move smoothly to another area of the closure or frontal. You want to keep moving your tweezers to prevent from getting any bald spots. To create my middle parts, I like to pluck in a straight line to get a clean and neat and seamless look. Now, y'all see the difference. Big difference. This is my final look. After this, you will see my styling video, and comment down below to let me know if you want to see a video on how I styled this wig. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click on the notification bell to make sure that you know when your girl is dropping another video. Okay, dolls, bye. See you in the next video.
Class is dismissed.